Right. Some of the research shows that they're having problems with issues of community and family. Absolutely. And issues of church trying to be too relevant.
Yeah.
And trying to be too hip for them to like church.
Yeah.
But that's posing a problem. Blogger Mark Yoder says, we've taken a historic 2,000-year-old faith, dressed it in plaid and skinny jeans, and tried to sell it as cool to our children.
Yeah.
It's not cool. It's not modern. Mm-hmm. And what we're packaging is a cheap knockoff of what the world that we're trying to evangelize. It's pretty much just a knockoff of what the world is doing.
Who likes a counterfeit dollar bill? Nobody. Who likes fake diamonds? Who likes cubic zirconium? Nobody.
Right.
And so, exactly, I mean, Mark Yoder makes a very good point here, because the whole purpose of the doctrine of the Messiah was revolution against the system, not to tether itself back to the system. That's where you get the word world. Mm-hmm. It's the word cosmos. It means a systematized evil, if you will. So what you're having with the institutions, because they're pegged to the system in the sense that they inherently have the same process, the political process, they have to revert back to their very essential nature and form, which is the system. Wow. So for me, you shouldn't expect anything else but the institution conforming to the system. Right. That's the whole purpose of it.
Right.
But he makes a very good point. The whole purpose of what the gospel teaches is to pull you out of the system, if you will, and to grant you a hope that's not tethered to it.
And it further stated that they're not looking for a hipper church. They're looking for a traditional church that looks more like Jesus.
There you go.
And that's what they're looking at.
Authenticity.
And I wouldn't blame you. I mean, like you said, repackaging what church is even called, institutionalizing it, and them having one understanding of what Christianity is and Jesus it represents. They're not seeing that in the institution, and they're being disillusioned. They're being turned off.
Well, can I make a statement real quick?
Sure.
Like my mother, she's an art historian, right? And one of the things that she does is she'll salvage what they call sleeper paintings that people did not know were authentic, and she'll do this massive research on it, and she'll get the painting authenticated. And it's weird because you can go from a painting being worthless, $0, to be worth $20, $30, $40, $100,000 just through the authentication process. And when you authenticate the painting, what it does is it completes the relationship between the owner and the painting, knowing it's real. Right. And it's no different than the millennials. They want to complete the relationship chain, if you will, between what they know to be true or what they've adopted as the truth, but what they're experiencing it like. When it fails to be authentic, it has no value.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Totally understand. Another issue in the research stated that the institutions are too inward focused on buildings, focused on just their members and their causes or whatever benefits their church. They're focused on their little bubble within their buildings, and they're not really dealing with a lot of the issues and problems with humanity that a lot of millennials are concerned with. They're concerned with social injustice, the oppression in humanity, poor people, suffering people, and they don't quite see that happening for the most part in institutions, and it's turning them off.
Oh, it should turn them off. I mean, think about it. Like, we were designed for community, right? I mean, the human being was designed for family. If you study the Proto-Canaanite and the Paleo-Hebrew, which is the ancient form of Hebrew that Moses and the Old Testament prophets wrote and spoke in, the word for love is basically a picture of a family. And it knocks, which basically is the strong family. So when I said I loved you, it was, behold, I extend the strength of the family towards you.
Right.
The language was designed in such a way as to authenticate the words, if you will. Like, now we're living in an abstract society, but you know, you can't fault the millennials from seeking community. Even when the Messiah came into the world, he identified with the pain and the suffering of humanity. Like, he didn't ignore it. Him being God, he didn't ignore it. Like, and so when you talk about these issues of the institutions, of course they have to be focused inwardly, because it's all about being able to sustain their business model. Turn around a dollar. It is a business. That's what people don't understand. It is an actual industry, if you will. So why would you be concerned with the poor in a legitimate, real way? Like, when you have to line your pockets, you have to secure your own security, your own financial freedom. But again, everybody give you money to keep your brand of Christianity going. Like,
well, some people would say in our institution, we help the poor, we feed the homeless.
Sometimes.
So what would you say to that, as far as like the fact that some of them are saying we do have a family, we care about our members within our bubble?
Absolutely.
And what is this problem millennials are accusing us of?
No.
We do care about the family and so forth.
Yeah, well, you could say you care about the family, but if you're not demonstrating that the strength of the family, your words are irrelevant. Here's what I would say, right? There's a great passage in the scripture where the Messiah talks about how the rulers, they lord over each other, right?
Right.
And if you read it in the original language in the Greek, it's very, very, intriguing. He says that they lord over each other, but they call themselves benefactors. And that word benefactor in the Greek means those who are workers of good, right? It wasn't like the Pharisees was going around just stripping people of their money. They were doing good at the same time. The institution have to put on the facade that they're carrying out good, really for their own interests, if you will.
Wow.
And so at the end of the day, you could do that, but then how come there's so many poor people in your community? Why is there 30 churches on one road? Why is it that you got poor people within your congregations? Think about that. And you're telling the congregation that they have to take their substance, their hard-earned money, and give it to power your institution. Why not take that money and give it to your neighbor? Isn't that a better picture of the Messiah? So what we're talking about is not I'm giving to quote-unquote God by giving to this institution.
Right.
I'm giving it to you because you belong to me and you matter. The value's on you, like.
Wow.